The Great Mind is back on NTA Oshogo. Do you want to know the secrets of true and lasting success? Do you have a dream to join the ranks of the super successful people? The achievers of our time are ready through The Great Mind on NTA Oshogo to reveal to you the secrets of their success in their different vocations. The Great Mind is a program that can help you to formulate the real philosophy of success through the life stories and experiences of the great men and women we'll be meeting on the program. Join me, Bola Olayode, on the program on NTA Oshogo every Saturday. It is another exciting moment with me, Bola Olayode, on that program, The Great Mind, the program that reveals the secret to the soul and lasting success in life. I'm Bola Olayode, the regular hostess of the program. On this episode of the program, we are featuring Mr. Yomi Fagbulu. He is a man who has turned impossibility to possibility. He is a man who has turned his challenge in life to advancement. He is a man of many parts. He was the first chairman of Sunafat in Osho State. This house is the origin of Dr. Yomi Fagbulu, the father of Mr. Yomi Fagbulu. The house is in Adodo's compound, Ipinido, the headquarters of Atakubosa East local government. The great-grandfather of Mr. Yomi Fagbulu migrated from Ipinido to settle in Ilesha. Fagbulu's family is a very popular family in Ijesha land. Mr. Yomi Fagbulu, who is in his mid-50s, was born with no deformity. His parents, Dr. Yomi Fagbulu and Mrs. Eunice Aniola Fagbulu, were both civil servants at the birth of Yomi Fagbulu. They give insight to his childhood.
He was a sharp, clever, brilliant. He didn't just crop up. He was ill. Is that it developed some traits of limping. So we went to the hospital in Ibadan to consult the doctor. But at that time it was still very weak. So we were not even sure whether it's a deformity or just weakness of the sickness. But at the time we started noticing it, then we started running about. We tried at Oshogo at Ibadan because we were at Ibadan then. Then we moved to Lagos to orthopedic hospital. Then we noticed that he had some deformity. It was there they detected that it was polio. And at that time we didn't know what polio was. So we started massaging. Somebody will say use the mentholatum. We will use mentholatum. And you know, at that time we were not as civilized as we are now. So information was very slow coming. So that we are just doing what people were telling us to do. Some will say cold water in the morning, use it to massage the leg. Some will say all sorts of advices they were giving us, but all was for me, but with no result.
There are stages in his life. When he was growing up, unfortunately, I was traveling around from the age of 1 to about 8. He was with his grandmother because the mother had to go back to his land to go and study. Okay. But during that period, my contact with him, he didn't feel he was, well, of course, you know he's stubborn. He's very stubborn. And he refused to feel different from others, even as early as at the age of 6, 7, you walk. And by the time you finished primary school, I had to go to secondary school.
Mr. Yomi Fagbulu has been a genius right from his childhood.
I had my primary education at Our Lady of Apostles private school in St. Agnes, Yaba, Lagos, along with a few people like remember Mofe Doyle, the brother of Patrick Doyle, the Bruce, the Silverbird people, Tam Brisby, who is in the House of Rep, and a couple of others. It was quite exciting at that time. We were able to receive both religious, moral, and everything along with the education, because it was a Catholic primary school. I left Our Ladies for Government College, Ibadan, where I started my secondary education in 1967. So I was in Government College all through, and I must say, Government College really built me, gave me confidence, and it actually prepared me. That's what I discovered later in my life. It prepared me for the challenges of life. I had a little setback as a child at a very early stage.
What was that setback?
Yes, I had polio.
At what age?
At about 3. At the age of 3. So I had to be attending the Igobi Orthopedic Hospital for quite a number of times. But fortunately, it did not really affect my studies. I was able to pull through. And before the school age, I could work on my own unaided. So I had my education smooth sailing. And I never thought of it one day. I never looked back or felt I had any challenges. I was one of the best in my class. I was very outstanding. And we had this Nigerian Television Authority quiz in Lagos then. We call it North and Crosses. It was organized by NTA. We had Auntie Mrs. Fadansi. And I was 3 years, I was champion for 3 years, defeating everybody. And I had a wonderful primary school education. And I was able to, and to go into government college at that time, you must be above average. So I went into government college, where I developed some other skills, especially in music. I was a member of the school musical group called Sound Incorporation, with the President Attorney General of Osun State, Honorable Yomi. He was on the vocals, I was on the keyboard, and it was quite interesting. And there were other areas where we had to be stage hands. If we were not acting, because we had a drama group in the school, we would be controlling the lights and everything. And then we learned to play chess and so many things in government college. In fact, the experience in government college was holistic, because the school will ensure that you participate in virtually every aspect of the school's program. I was a chorister and a very outstanding one too at government college. After my secondary education, I was in government college up to higher school certificate. Then I proceeded to the University of Lagos. I got into UNILAG October 1974. Under Professor Adiaja, he was then our Vice Chancellor.
Commissioner for Justice and Attorney General for Osun State, Honorable Niji Obolade, was a classmate of Mr. Yomi Fagbulu, while Captain Supo Ayeni was his senior.
Yomi Fagbulu and I were classmates at Government College Ibadan 43 years ago. That is from January 1967. I first met Yomi in January 1967 in our Form 1 in Government College. And he has always been somebody up to now, very, very courageous, hardworking. He was one of the most hardworking guys in my class in those days. As a matter of fact, we were in the same school band together. The name of our band then was called the Sound Incorporation. Yomi was on the, he was a sopranost. He could play the piano and he could play the soprano very, very well. And I was the vocalist of the school band. We had a great time together in those days in school. With disability, nobody knew he was disabled. We didn't see him in that light. He was one of those energetic classmates of mine. He was a prolific writer. He was good in analyzing sports. He was also, of course, musically talented, highly talented. And he is a person I see has been endowed by the Almighty God with lots and lots of talent.
I came to know him in 1967 when he was appointed to Government College Ibadan. I had been in the school a long time before he came. That's how I knew him initially. He was a versatile chap, a brilliant chap with a lot of vibrancy. Despite his seemingly incapacitation. So he was very good in academics. There was a period I knew. And luckily he was in my house. Because in Government College Ibadan we were always claiming that our own house is the best. So he was lucky to be in the same house with me.
When he graduated in 1977, after his youth service, he had a stint in private sector before he secured employment with Osogbo Steel Rolling Company.
I had my first degree in business administration in June 1977. And from there, I had my NYSC in Lagos. I worked with an audit firm, Yomi and Co. Chartered Accountants. And I got employment at Osogbo Steel Rolling Company in the Human Resource Department. And that was what brought me to Osogbo from Lagos. So I was in steel rolling mills for about 11 years. I worked in various departments, training and staff development, welfare, general administration, and I had the opportunity to go for my postgraduate in public admin. That was in 1983-84. So I did my postgraduate studies in public administration. And I was in Osogbo Steel Rolling Mills, so I worked there till 1992, when I felt that it was time for me to move ahead, to go and try my hands on other things.
Being able to find a good wife is a great favor from heaven. Mr. Yomi Fagbulu obtained this high favor from the Supreme Being when he found his beautiful and beautiful wife, Yinka, and got married to her in 1987.
I got married in December 1987, and to my sweetheart, she's Ni Oguni Adeyinka. Yes, we got married in 1987 December. Then we had our first child in 1988.
Mrs. Yinka Fagbulu has this to say about her marriage of 23 years.
I met him around Alepodo area. He was driving because before I met him, I've heard a lot about him. So I just met him, we got talking, and that was how it started.
What attracted him to you?
His intelligence. He's very, very intelligent. And he's very handsome. He's good looking. So that's what attracted me to him. It's been fun all through. No dull moments. Because he's a very loving person, very hardworking. He has integrity. It's very good. On the children, he dotes over his children like no man's business. He takes care of his family. His family comes first in everything. So he's a very reliable person.
The birth of the first child of Mr. Yomi Fagbulu was his happiest day on earth. But shortly after the arrival of the baby, he tasted the other side of life and experience, which greatly assisted him in realizing his God-given dream.
The happiest day in my life was when I had my first child. Despite my education and everything, I was still a bit panicky. I wanted to see what my child would look like and everything. It was a 14th day, that's a Valentine's Day, 1988. I was so excited when I saw her. I was glad, and in fact, I had to be at a JC meeting that day. I ran up and I was just doing, baby has arrived, blah blah blah. So it was quite interesting. It was a day I'll never forget. 14th of February 1988. And the other one, well, I had some challenges in the office, and it was more political anyway. I wouldn't want to go into details, but it led to my suspension, it led to my demotion. That was in 1988 as well. So just few months, the first I told you. So when it happened, it was suspension without pay. I do not want to discuss the details, but like I told you, it was more political. I said, well, now here I am. I have my wife was still unemployed. She just finished her youth corps, and so I had a family. Now I had to take care of my family, though I was receiving assistance from home, but of course it was inadequate. So I said, well, here I am. I'm on suspension for 3 months, no salary. I have to keep my family going. So the first thing I did, I started selling cows. I would go to Kara markets after Jeba every 5 days. I would go and buy cows, and when I bring the cows, I continue to sell to the mission, to the ministry. So I was using that to make ends meet for that period. So it was actually a very challenging period, and I remember a few of my friends, they were wonderful. They came to our age, they supported us as well, but that was it. And in fact, that was what really gave me the push to accelerate my exit from the public service.
Mr. Yomi Fagbulu, who was the pioneer chairman of Joint National Association of Persons with Disability, Jonapit, is a man of many parts.
Well, there are so many aspects of my life. Jonadip is one of them. What happened in Jonadip was that the Jonadip was already in existence. The full meaning of Jonadip then, we call it Joint National Association of Disabled Persons. It was a national body, but we didn't have any presence in Osun State. So we're able to establish a chapter in Osogbo, and I happen to be the first chairman. I have been doing a lot of training on entrepreneurship. You see, and the idea is it came from the source of the physically challenged. You see, we discourage people begging when they can actually work with their hands and their brain. So the entrepreneurship program actually is to give you an insight of how you can be self-employed. I have my hands into consultancy, real estate, merchandising, and a host of other things, and security as well. We have an outfit called Professional Solutions, which I do in conjunction with my father. Basically, when we started the company, we were working on educational data for the whole nation. So we had what we call the educational database for all educational institutions. In fact, the whole educational sector, we had all the data. We had our office in Malaysia, and the office is still there, but we have finished that aspect of the project because it's now ceded to the states.
Director of Radio Service of Osun State Broadcasting Corporation, Mr. Adutoye Shitu Alamu, is a good friend of Mr. Yomi Fagbulu. He has this to say about him.
We are good friends. We've been friends for many years. He strikes me as a very resourceful person, highly intelligent. He's a first-class administrator. And today I can say he's a shrewd businessman. He's a young man. Well, must I say he's a young man now. These days, when you are over 50, you are no longer a young man. But because we are friends, I can still say he's a man who has demonstrated the good saying that there is always ability in disability. He impresses me, and these are the kind of people that Nigeria needs to get to where it is going. If we must get to where we are going, we need men like this who are focused.
Mr. Yomi Fagbulu is a member of Board of Directors of Life Vanguard, a non-governmental organization that is committed to the youth development, while Mrs. Zupe Taiwo is also a director in the organization.
Well, Mr. Yomi Fagbulu is a board of directors of Life Vanguard, and apart from that, he actually looks after our accounts because of his financial management skills. Apart from that, he's also a friend, he's a father. He is such a man that has a heart to help others, to ensure that other people also make it in life.
Mr. Yomi Fagbulu is not the pride of his biological parents alone.
Never at any time felt sorry for himself or felt different. In fact, he dares to do what others would think he could not do. One of the most remarkable things that touched me in my life was that we went to the Ministry of Education of Abuja one day. We had to go to 6 stories up. There was no lift. Oh, he said I should go. He would meet me. I should go. Because it was already running there. A few minutes afterwards, he climbed all that stuff and joined me. It's one day I will not forget. Because I asked him not to bother. He said no, he wanted to do with me. And it was good. He went with me that day because I lose my temper. I can't stand fools, people who are not intelligent. But he calmed me, he came there, he calmed me down, and for that moment, that one day, I could have done a lot of things that I would have regretted myself. So it was a triple blessing. He offered to come and climb those 6 levels. Come on. Secondly, his influence on me at that meeting was extremely important to my life.
I know Mr. Yomi as a practicing Christian, very devoted. Besides, he's a man that I know that he's so poised for betterment, and he goes about his business with a Christian mind.
Mr. Yomi Fagbulu has this dream.
I'm the type of person, if I see anything wrong in my environment, I try to contact anybody that I know that is in government that can get my message across. That is how far I want to go for now. Yes, but my focus is to see a better Osun State. And I will not stop until we get there.
Why Osun State?
Because I live here.
Why not Nigeria?
Well, you see, charity begins at home. I want to see that the things I see that are wrong, I want to see how I can always convey my idea to government and get them implemented. If I achieve that at the state level, then I can take on higher levels.
Despite the challenge of Mr. Yomi Fagbulu, he is important positively to the lives of others. Indeed, he is a blessing to this generation. You and I should be able to learn from him. That has brought us to the end of this edition of the program for this week. Next Saturday is another day. God willing.